Shaping up on the ground. Right now we're joined by three congressional candidates: Evan Jenkins from West Virginia, Richard Tassay from Massachusetts, and Carlos Curbelo from Florida. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Evan, let's start with you.
Great. Good morning.
Not that long ago, you were a Democrat.
That's right.
And you switched parties. How come?
President Obama and the Democratic agenda is wrong for West Virginia. It's wrong for me and what I believe, and it's wrong for this country. So the party went in the wrong direction, and we need to put conservative leadership in Washington to fight for West Virginia.
Now, Richard, in Massachusetts, you came really close to winning this seat last time around. There are no Republicans representing Massachusetts in the House or the Senate. You would like to be the first.
I'd like to be the first, not only in Massachusetts, but New England. And I think a lot of people in my area want a choice. 58% of my constituents, future constituents, are independents, and they want to see, the national debt addressed, sure, the situation with Obamacare, and the economy jump-started. So I think offering them a choice is really important.
Carlos, you would represent the southernmost district in the great state of Florida, including South Miami and the Florida Keys as well. It's a swing district. Why? And given the recent polls, it looks like of the independents, who generally figure out a lot of presidential elections, they are currently favoring the Republicans.
Well, everyone's just frustrated with the government we have today. There are a lot of young families who people can't find work. You have a lot of immigrant families arriving in our area where they don't see the opportunities that this country used to offer before. So even though it's a divided district politically, I think people are brought together by the same themes and the same concerns. How are we going to move forward, and how are we going to fix this Obama economy, which is leaving so many people behind?
Sure. And Evan, it's the Obama environment that is toxic to a lot of people in West Virginia because of his so-called war on coal.
And that war is very real. Obama has basically spelled the end to coal mining as we know it. Coal is used for energy. You know, we're here in New York, and Times Square attracts people because of the lights.
Sure.
You take away coal, you're going to turn the lights out on America. We've got to stop the war on coal.
A lot of people who are buying electric cars think, oh, this is so good for the environment. The electricity comes from coal to run the cars.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Richard, what is the number one concern of the people of what would be your district in Massachusetts?
I'd say, same as national, the fact that the economy is pretty morbid right now. It isn't creating the type of jobs that people need to live, work, and raise a family in my district or around the country. A lot of part-time jobs, temporary jobs, but not the type of middle-class jobs that are needed. And then in Massachusetts, we have Obamacare, and we had a system.
Wait a minute, it was based on Massachusetts
care. I know,
care.
and we had a system that was working. 98% of the people were insured, and Obamacare came in, superseded everything we were doing on the state level, and really set us back. And it's a good example of why the states should have a little more discretion as far as putting together their own health care plans rather than a one-size-fits-all plan from Washington.
Sure. And Carlos, the concerns of Floridians?
Well, look, what I've seen in this race is a lot of young voters are starting to wake up. They're realizing that today's government is being paid for with our generation's credit card, and with $18 trillion in debt, Social Security and Medicare scheduled to go bankrupt. A lot of young people are starting to ask, what's going to be left for us in this country? And we hear Washington politicians all the time say they're worried about their children and grandchildren. Well, in many cases, they're talking about me and my little girls. So that's why I decided to get off my seat and get into this race. And I'm seeing a lot of young people up and getting involved, and it's pretty exciting.
All right. We should point out that we invited all of your opponents, your Democratic opponents. Nobody called us back. All right. Evan Jenkins from West Virginia, also Richard Tassay from Massachusetts, and Carlos Curbelo from Florida. Gentlemen, thank you very much for making
Thank you. It's great to be here.
All right.